Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush. Hello, everybody. We'd love to welcome you to our podcast. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, Howie, how are you?
I'm good. My Seahawks didn't lose this weekend.
It's a bye week. That's why.
You got me.
I know. The Eagles lost. But
yeah, they did. We're
going to England. We can't lose in England next week.
Oh, I know. They're suffering the championship season. The season after they won the championship. It's always a downer. So.
Yeah, well, it's not acceptable here. So, all right. So, what are we doing today?
We're going to talk about SEO, search engine optimization. Now, that's a term that probably most dentists are familiar with, but what we're going to do is take a look at what is it really? What's going on with that? And that's what we'd like to talk about today.
All right. So, we hear questions from even our own clients and even our own SEO clients, the ones that don't bother opening up their report every month. But we also hear from the general dental public. You see it on forums on Facebook, Dental Town. You see these questions like, is SEO worth it? What is it? I'm not sure if my guy or gal is doing a good job. It's like the unicorn, right? Or Bigfoot, right? It's a mystery, right? Like they don't know why they're paying money, and they don't know if the person they're paying money to is actually doing a job, and beyond that, they can't really quantify if the job they're doing is actually returning patients.
Right. It's tough for the ROI. Can't figure it.
Yeah, admittedly, it's difficult, right? So, what we thought we would do with this segment of our podcast is just slow down the train a little bit, give everybody kind of 1,000-foot elevation of what SEO is or what it's supposed to do, the benefits of it, around the costs of it. What you should expect, I think that's an issue as well. Dentists think that they can optimize their website and get 40 new patients a month, and that's just not true. So, what to expect, from your investment, so that you understand what it is, how it's supposed to work, what it's doing, how you're supposed to know every month if it's working or not, how to tell if it's working or not from a statistical standpoint. So let's just clear all that stuff up because it seems to create stress in a lot of dentists.
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay, so let's go all the way back to our previous podcast discussion and the difference between passive and aggressive marketing techniques. SEO is in the passive category. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. Now, search engine optimization really kind of takes on 3 different elements in order to be competitive organically in almost all of your markets. So this applies to everybody listening to this. The first part of it is to make content changes to your website on a periodic basis. Google wants to see that you're not stale. Okay. So periodic changes to your website. Also on-page and off-page changes. So content handles on-page changes, but there's off-page changes that are made by the programmers of your website, which basically what that does, it's coding, it's programming. So it's useless to talk about that on a podcast, but basically what that is the programmer is telling Google, look here, this is relevant. This is relevant to these searches. This is a relevant page or website or series of pages if someone types in dentist space near me or dentist space whatever, town. Okay? So there's on-page changes, there's off-page changes, which are off-page changes are kind of, most of those are, I'm just going to call it programming. Okay? Because if you actually right-click on your website and click View Source, you can see a lot of it sitting there, and you'll look at it and go, "Oh my God!" And that's basically programming.
Looks like it in a foreign language.
Exactly. So, so there's on-page changes and there's off-page changes, and especially in the last 5 years or so, social media is also part of SEO because social media can be used not only to drive traffic directly from the media itself, but also to become something that's found organically when somebody types in a search phrase. Like I live in Hamilton, New Jersey, so Hamilton, New Jersey, Invisalign dentist, for instance. You could optimize your website to pop up in the first page of a Google search, but your Facebook page and your video on Invisalign could easily get indexed on that first page as well, so that you take up 2 or 3 links on that first page rather than just one.
Yeah, we've seen that with our own clients. We'll do a first impression video and on Invisalign or anything, implants, and put it on their website, and then lo and behold, boom! Their search engine positioning improves.
Yeah, and that's YouTube too. YouTube we consider part of this social media category. Anyway, so all of those things have to be done by someone who has the skill and the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience in order to prioritize and leverage their work each month on your behalf. Because there's always work to do. When you say something like, well, add new content, that's work. Okay? Unless you want to do it, somebody needs to do it. But because of the volume of work that could be done, what you want to do is you want to prioritize it. You say, okay, well, what gives this client a marked advantage over their competitors in their specific market? And so you focus your time and energy on those tasks. Okay. Now, what almost always keeps this fresh and keeps it interesting is Google itself. Google will periodically just come up and change the rules. Where you used to rank organically for a certain search term or phrase, they will come in and change their algorithm and change the rules, and it throws, it doesn't throw everything off for a while. It will certainly throw things off temporarily until the person who's working on your behalf every month notices it and then takes the corrective action to regain your position in your local organic search. Okay, so you're a SEO person or persons, whoever they or whoever they are, they're your advocates. They're working on your behalf, okay, to make sure that your link to you, at least to your website, if not your social media, if not multiple social media properties, are seen on the first page of a Google search if someone local types in one of the 20 or 30 more common search terms that consumers use when looking for a dentist. Okay, now let's go to cost, because we've seen all kinds of garbage, everything from $67 a month to $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And they claim it's, SEO. Okay. Well, here's what we'll tell you. Okay. there's no reason for anyone. Unless you're in Manhattan or downtown LA, unless you're a startup, unless your domain is brand new as of yesterday. I mean, there's really no reason to spend a boatload of money on SEO. Our clients are at $650 a month. In an average market for 5 new patients a month, maybe 3, maybe 7 1 month here and there. It doesn't generate an enormous volume of new patients in an average market. Obviously, the closer you are to an epicenter, the more patient searches there are going to be, but the closer you get to that epicenter, the more competition and the more people and SEO professionals you have trying to beat you out of that higher position, right?
Yeah.
So it becomes like...
it's a war.
It becomes, right. It's like that, what's that, the old Western, the Hatfields and the McCoys, right? They got at each other over a fence, but these people are nerds, right? So they're shooting technology back and forth at each other, trying to one up each other. It is literally a nerd competition. That's basically
yeah.
Okay, so
well, you know what, Mark? This would be a good point for us to take a pause and we'll come back and we'll really get into the nerd slingshot wars. All right, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey, Mark, do we have a Facebook group or something?
We do have a Facebook group, Howie. It's called Dental Marketing Mastery Facebook Group. Oh. And in there are hundreds and hundreds of dentists who are participating in conversations about everything from internal promotion to PPC campaigns, everything from how to approach local businesses to attract new patients, all the way to online scheduling. Almost everything about dental marketing is being discussed at the Dental Marketing Mastery Facebook group. So if you're a listener of our podcasts and you'd like to extend the podcast conversation, ask questions, engage with your colleagues, engage with staff. We have practice management consultants. We have all kinds of professionals on the Dental Marketing Mastery Facebook group. So welcome one and all.
Okay, we are back. We were talking about the nerd wars.
Okay, yeah, the nerd wars. So even in an average market, even a more competitive than average market, a good SEO a good solid SEO professional shouldn't cost you any more than that. Really, honestly. I mean, it's just not, it's just not necessary. Now, part of the reason why this all gets confusing and why many dentists they seem emotionally overwhelmed by the subject is because nobody's actually telling them or showing them the work that's being done on their behalf and where they were 2 months ago, last month, this month, so that they can see progress. So you want to see the work. You want to understand the work that's being done. You want to understand the impact of the work that's being done, right? In other words, am I losing ground? Am I gaining ground? How much traffic came from a search? Did it go up? Did it go down? These things need to be presented to whoever is paying the bill, whoever the owner of the practice is, on a monthly basis. So you can see everything. You can, so that you're not wondering what the heck these people are doing. They tell you exactly what they're doing and exactly how it's benefiting. Now, mixed in with this are things that the practice can also do on their own to help their own cause. Things like getting more Google and Facebook reviews. That's a big one.
That's right? A huge one right there.
Right, exactly. Adding online scheduling on your landing pages. If you're trying to gain organic traffic, it makes a whole lot of sense to be able to convert them no matter what day and what time of the day it is, right? So That's one. It all kind of fits in. The SEO kind of fits into that whole online puzzle. The whole part of your online strategy, part of that is the SEO. So what's the ROI? I mean, if I'm going to spend $650 a month? Was about $7,000, $8,000 a year. Okay, so if I'm going to spend $8,000 a year, what's my ROI on even? Yeah, let's go low. 3 patients a month, 36 patients a month, average revenue $1,500 a piece. That is, what is that? $54,000 on an investment of $8,000.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And that's low. So you drop it down to 2 a month. That's 24 times 1,500 is $36,000 coming in, 8,000 going out. So the ROI almost always works out. Okay. What doesn't work out is the doctor's expectation. Right? The doctor thinks for $650 a month, literally thousands of people are going to find the website and just call the office during normal office hours, have the insurance plan you participate with or be fee for service and just make appointments. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true anywhere.
That's like expecting magic,
Exactly. That's not true anywhere. Okay. It doesn't exist. Right. That's a fantasy land. But that's not to say that organic positioning of your website doesn't pay off, because clearly the math pays off. All right. You just have to, 2 or 3 new patients a month is fine. I'm good. I think if I said, which dentist want to, hand $8,000 out and bring in 36, how many dentists would be in that line? There'd be many dentists in that line, right? So even at 2 or 3 new patients a month, it's still wildly profitable, really good. It's also very consistent. And I'll tell you something else about it. The costs don't go up, right? There's no, lots of a lot of things in our lives, the costs go up. Well, the costs don't go up with this. Okay. Like if you're in Google AdWords, right, the costs will almost always go up the more competition comes in. With SEO, as long as you have a good team on your side, your costs don't go up. Right? They just keep working and working and working and working and working on your behalf each month, month over month over month, so that you stay current, so that if Google changes their algorithm, so what? You got it handled. If you have website changes, they're handled. If you have social media changes, they're handled. So everything's basically part of that whole thing that you hear bantied about called SEO.
Yeah, actually the setup for it is where most of the work gets done, right, Mark? And then
there's a good week and a half. So there's 10 days worth of work at the beginning. Right. But then after that, the maintaining of it obviously is less work. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, any other little gem before we sign off here that you want to put
up? Yes, I have a gem. This is the first podcast since the release of Unlimited New Patients Volume 3 update.
Yes.
Go to newpatientsinc.com. There's an education tab. Click that, scroll down. If you haven't already, download Unlimited New Patients Volume 3, of course. But right after you download that, download the update for it. It's free, so it doesn't cost you anything. So, but all this stuff that we're discussing is all in both of those.
Yeah, that's right. It's. I think I've said this before. I don't think you could find a better marketing education, at least in book form or written form, than the Volume 3 of Unlimited New Patients and the new update that's just come out. So.
Enjoy, people.
There you go.
Get educated, be smart, be good marketers.
All right. We will see you all again next week. Bye now.
We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.